everybody, this is Stephanie. I wanted to do a full detail flip through of my December daily for 2019 that I completed for this year, Christmas in July. I initially started this album back in 2021 alongside with December daily 2021. So it did not get finished. Neither of them did, since I had to go out of town to work for a good portion of December, which was just life. It is what it is. I want to say I had so much fun taking the time in July, especially since I do not love summer. I do not like the heat. I do like the summer activities though, but it was just so nice to get into the Christmas spirit during the July. And I actually have pulled out my December daily for 2021 and started organizing the memories that we had created. And I like to do that. I grab out a printer sheet of paper and just organize all the memories that I got document, like the traditions and how I want them in my album. And I really debated on also achieving or completing that album as well. I don't know if I want to hold that album for November or if I want to just keep going even though we're toward the end of July. I also grabbed out my October daily for 2021 that I didn't complete, and I wanted to finish that too. So this is my way of saying I am done with summer. Bye. Move on. Anywho, the album is from Snap, the brand, and I got it from scrapbook.com. And I also got the page protectors also from scrapbook.com. So we're going to jump off with the first story here. It is the tradition of the first signs of the season, the holiday. For me, it's when I start to see the public trees around town get decorated with these beautiful Christmas lights. That's the first sign. This is not a good quality photo, and it was bad weather, it was raining, but it was still, to me, the first sign of Christmas. I love it so much. Here I placed the date. I did a nice little cluster here, and I just kind of did a little jot of this. Since I am talking, I'm doing my journaling now in present time, just reflecting, looking back. I did turn off one of my lights here on the right side, so that way there's not so much glare, so I hope it's not too dark. Oh, and another thing I'm going to mention here is that I like to keep the numbers consistent for this album. I went with the vellum. I just had a metal die, and I did all my numbers in vellum. Some of the process videos for some of these layouts are on my channel from 2021. Last year I did a few of these as well as the last 10 or so. They are on my channel. I will be making a playlist in case you would like to go back and see those. Alright, number 2 here, I kind of went in a horizontal format for some reason. So here's the number 2. I was dyeing my hair black, and I also have a picture here. It's just a picture of me with my Night Before Christmas shirt on. But it's like a Christmassy one, not like really bright orange, because I have one of those as well. So I thought it was perfect for this season. Here's story number 3. My toddler was under the weather. Story number 4, we pulled out the tree and the boys were painting the porch. Story number 5, I have kind of like this double, triple page sequence to talk about us decorating the tree. I loved this card. Perfect for documenting this story. May your days be merry and bright. Looking back at these photos, they look so small. My little ones, my toddler looks so tiny. Of course, he's going to show the biggest difference. He no longer has a binky. And I just had so much fun looking back in this album. Story number 6 is a date night with my husband. Another thing to reminisce and reflect on, since the next album is 2020 and the pandemic. So it's just nice to see the changes and some of the traditions and stuff that just keep on every year. Moving to story number 7, it's a bit of around here, just the little things that are everyday routine of Henry getting into a lot of things, all the books for instance. And here is another story that I like, is I had got this yarn to make him a baby blanket, and we're gonna flash forward to 2021 where I have pictures of him covered in this blanket. I just love that, just how it evolves. Moving to story number 8 here, it's just me in my robe. This is pretty much how I lived for this season. I believe this is the robe that my husband got me the year before. Story number 9 is just documenting on how I crocheted this blanket with the intent for it to be on our master bed, and my husband totally stole it. Since I had run out of yarn, it is perfectly in a vertical way to cover him up on the couch. It was perfect. So he has claimed it as his own, and I have yet to complete the blanket. But he's not the only one that has claimed it. This year, he would claim it all day as well and fight for it with him, which is why I bought some soft yarn to make him one as well. The collection that I'm working with is Tracery Designs Candy Coated Christmas. I did print out some of the papers here on vellum and a lot of the stickers I used to embellish. Moving on to story number 10. This is a photo of my boys with Santa. It's such a beautiful photo. I love it. Although the experience wasn't like a 10, it was actually not really good at all. But I still love having this photo to document the story. Story 11 is when we went to go see all the Christmas lights in a neighborhood, and so I just placed them all here, did a little bit of a cluster, and I call this good. Story number 12 is a perfect story to document every year. Basically, you can do a shopping list for all the kids that you're going to shop for, or all the adults, all the people. Here, I just kind of had a photo of all the gifts that we bought, and I love seeing this because throughout the years it's going to change. Like, I think this previous year they just wanted gift cards. They wanted to buy their own electronics, and it makes me even appreciate this so much more, seeing all the board games and all the toys we got. Here on the left side, I love this vellum paper that I made using digital stamps from Tracery Designs. And here I have a little pocket, and it says holiday shopping. I can't wait for you to open this. This is where I can place my journaling, just saying how much I loved having this photo pause in time of what we got for the kids, because it also shows, how young they were. All right, you guys, moving to story number 13. Story 13 here, I just have a random photo of our Christmas tree one evening. Loved the way that looked, didn't know where to place it, so that's where I got. As I'm documenting the boys' letter to Santa, or just kind of like a wish list. So I'm going to open this flap here, and this is just documenting the story of my boys and their wish list. I kind of interrupted the video just because I realized this was at a camera, out of angle, and I wanted to just share how you can see the difference in their handwritings, how he's really small, and my middle child is really big. So he wrote so much and so big that he had a little arrow for the back of the page, and this is where I added in the 2 tags. This year my toddler was pretty small, so he did not get to join in on this tradition. However, looking now to 2021, I cannot wait to share the story of him getting to participate in that. So fun. So even though it's the same tradition, it's still going to be different. Moving to story number 14, it is date night. We happen to get 2 dates for this month. Yay. And I really wanted to see this movie called Last Christmas, and so my husband was able to take me this year. And I just did this one Traveler's Notebook photo, and then I documented it here and did a little poster here. And the colors don't really match what I was working with, so this is why I placed the photo of our lights here to help bring in that blue. On story number 15, this is kind of like a randomness, just around here type of thing. So I have this Bad Moms movie. I don't know if I received it this year, or if I'm just making it a thing, because I definitely want to make sure I watch this every year along with the second movie, which is Bad Moms for Christmas or something. So it fits within the season. Here I have a photo of my toddler with his Christmas pajamas. I couldn't get a good quality picture, but it's there. I took that. And then the lights. I do have an additional photo here that I haven't placed a tab for. Again, just some randomness. It is a photo of all our stockings. I intended to do like a before and after with it all loaded. Never got to it. So this is why I'm just like, eh. And I didn't like the fact that we weren't matching. We started getting like these random stockings for just every year, like random ones. So yeah, starting forward, I'll have a matching set. But it's still nice to see what was then. what worked for us then was just fine. Alright, moving to story number 16. It's to document my son's still is in elementary school, so they have a school advent calendar where they do activities. So for instance, this one is an ugly sweater, and in this one he had to wear a Santa hat, and this Santa hat actually, it is a flap. I don't know why I stuck it back in there like that, and then you flap it over. There's another filler card, and then it's red. It did make him look a little creepy, not gonna lie. So this is why I placed it as the second photo, but it did light up and he loved it. All right, I'm moving to the right side of the spread. This is another pattern paper that I printed on vellum, and I like how it's a subtle separation between the two stories, and it just adds that nice touch to it. Moving to story number 17, it's to document the new ornaments that we got for this year. My husband and I did pick them out. Starting forward, we did let them pick their own, but I'm so glad that we did pick them because they got to be the same. I do love the consistency of having the same color scheme and the same likeness. They do not do that every year. They so go randomly with different bold colors, and I'm not gonna lie, it'll twitch on that because then it messes up the aesthetic on the tree. But why they got those ornaments, it's just a bit of a quirk to them, you know, and I love giving them the freedom to pick their own ornaments. All right, moving to story number 18. This is all about our wrapping paper. So the wrapping papers that I like to choose every year is this color array of these, and it matches. You hear me saying this, I have a match system. I like the aesthetics. But I do also purchase the cartoons since I just love the way they look, but I don't really like to place them under the tree. This is where I use them for my nieces and my nephews, and I also like to use them for my boys in some way. So for this year, I went ahead and wrapped their Christmas books, and they were able to unwrap them for every day we read. So it was a nice blend of different wrapping papers. Moving to story 19, it is Christmas Eve, and I have a full page photo of all the kids getting together for Christmas Eve. We always do like a gathering. We meet at someone's house, so that way we can exchange the gifts, and they normally get to open them there. Here is a very important story that I wanted to remember and to document on this day. This is story number 19. Story number 20 is another small story that happened in that evening that I also wanted to document. So I also made a cute little shaker here, and I do have a process video for this one on my channel. I will go ahead and link the playlist down below of the process video for the layouts that I achieved. Here is the journaling in regards to this story. The story behind this photo was just to make note of the little things. My sister wrapped my kids' gifts with this wrapping paper, and everybody knows, if you can tell from my husband, I love Nightmare Before Christmas. So to just kind of make a note, like, oh, these, you know, they know me, and I just love that. The little things, you guys, the little things. And this is where I did that journaling. Now we're moving here. This is actually a stencil. This is from Tracery Designs, the Candy Coated Christmas line. And I decided to just kind of put a ton of different washi tapes behind it, and then I went ahead with the cutouts, put some of it back on, but I left it add some pop and texture. And the real main reason I placed it was a bit of a filler, just so that way it created a separation between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Alright, we're flipping now. It is Christmas Day. Creating that filler page, I had to fill this side, and I decided to go with a word tree. I've seen many people create this, and I love the way this turned out so much. Alright, moving to Christmas Day, the story that I want to share first is story number 21, and it's Hang a Shiny Star Upon the Highest Bough. And we almost forgot that we wanted to start this tradition to have Henry put the star on the tree. So on Christmas Day, we remembered and we did it. So you know what? It may have been like so late in the game, but better late than never. And this is where I documented that story. And I made another shaker pocket. This was actually the first one I had intended to do, but then I couldn't wait for this day, so I practiced on that previous shaker. And I love the way that turns out. Alright, we're moving to story number 22, which is Christmas Day and the small story here. I originally wanted the 22 over here, but I went ahead and adhered everything together, and I couldn't staple on here without it showing up on this side, which was what I didn't want. So I just placed it over here, it's fine. So story number 22 is Christmas Day and the small story of, out of all his new toys, Henry just wanted to sit on the lid and get pushed around, which is something that we did with him, and I just found that hilarious, and it's so cute to see that that's all he wanted on Christmas Day. Alright, I'm going to move to story number 23. This is when Sean made it back home, and he was opening his gifts, and the one I know he was most excited about was hot sauce. The kid loves his hot sauce. Alright, you guys, I'm moving to my last 2 stories. I did get 25 stories in this album. I think if I was doing this in present time, story 24 and 25 not being Christmas Eve and Christmas Day probably would have bugged me. But I'm just letting it be just because I'm more happy with the stories being documented. Moving forward, I'm going to document New Year's. I like documenting New Year's in this album because it reminds us where we were at that time, whether it was just celebrating it with my little immediate family or going somewhere to an extended family. So I went ahead and placed this acetate. It is an acetate that I used texture paste with a snowflake stencil, and just to kind of tone it down, I placed a piece of vellum. This is how I kept them together with a little snowflake brad. Right, I thought about placing something right here, but I have not yet done that, and I may go back and do it. Alright, story number 24 is New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and I just placed a little star from LA Studio, some strips also from LA Studio, and some of these stickers are also from the Me and My Big Idea Happy Planner sticker books, which these are as well. I just thought it was perfect since I didn't really have New Year's scrapbooking. I don't know, if you have any New Year's scrapbooking papers, comment down below and let me know, because I didn't really find any. But I just have 2 strips of New Year's that I placed together, and I placed it here in this little pouch. Alright, we're going to flip this little pouch to the other side, and then I placed a sticker from, it says Pop Fizz Clink, and then story number 25 is Kiss Me at Midnight. This is a very special memory, since this is also the year that my husband proposed on New Year's, and I just placed one more sticker, and it says Merry and Bright. Alright, you guys, this is going to complete my album for December Daily 2019. I hope you got inspired some way as I placed my life on paper. I'm going to move on to the next project, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.